Good morning and welcome to day 2 of our clean eating group. I was so pleased to hear some of the feedback, both in classes last night and on the group, about how your first day had gone. Really delighted to hear that lots of you have embraced some change. You're looking at what you can have instead of what you usually have. You're cutting right back on sugar. It really made me laugh. One of my members last night said how her husband wasn't quite so sure. He'd agreed to do the clean eating, by the way. He wasn't quite so sure about being packed off to work with a green tea bag and a pot of almonds as compared to a frothy cappuccino and a Kit Kat. He wants to do it. The thing is, to get different results, we have to do different things. So I was really impressed to hear that little story. So lots of you are looking at your booklet and kind of working your way through it. So I want to just clarify a few bits today and keep on working through that book. Now, okay, so obviously there's a great long shopping list at the back. So it's really important that the recommended foods, all right? And it's really important that you plan some meals so that you've got the right stuff in to eat, all right? And just to clarify, eggs are very much part of clean eating, so please do enjoy them. They're listed there under eggs, dairy and dairy alternatives, so they are an amazing thing to have at any meal. I had them for lunch yesterday and it was great. I actually had them with baked beans because I was freezing cold, but I didn't have any toast like I normally would. And I was full. It's fine. It's about trying things and don't assume you're going to be hungry, all right? So my baked beans, they are processed. Yes, I could have made them myself, but I had a busy day yesterday, so I just don't have lots of the sauce. I just have the baked beans, half a tin of baked beans, 2 poached eggs. I was really full for hours. Okay, so we're looking through page 6, the clean eating plan. It focuses on 3 main food groups essential to our bodies: protein, carbohydrates, and fat. Now, the protein, very necessary for repair, but you know all about that. We've got fish, we've got chicken, we've got pulses, we've got eggs, we've got meat. Oh, somebody's joined me, that's nice. I'm a few minutes early because, hi Tori! A few minutes early because I'm teaching at 7:30. So lots of lovely protein, which you're having, and it's so important because it fills you up. People think carbs, bread, pasta, rice, spaghetti, they think that is going to fill you up. No. It's the chicken, it's the meat, it's the tofu, it's the beans. That's the filling bit, which is why we're eating it at every meal. Now, carbohydrates, you're going to be having unprocessed or minimally processed carbohydrates and of granary or wholemeal varieties, all right? So sweet potato instead of white potato, whole, granary bread, if you're having bread, and keeping away from white processed stuff. And of course, in that list, there's no sugar in this clean eating program. Lots of us, okay, have way too much sugar in all forms. It could be cake, biscuits, sweets, chocolates, or hidden in savoury processed foods. So look at what carbs you're having. You can have some carbs, that's fine, but you're really cutting down and you're cutting out white carbs and sugar this week. Fat's really important for fat-soluble vitamins, very important for our joints. So good fats are monounsaturated fats found in nuts, seeds, avocado, oily fish, salmon and mackerel. Okay, so if you like fish, fantastic. If you don't, then obviously look at other sources of healthy fats. Cooking with olive oil, rapeseed oil, nuts, seeds in your diet, all right? So just mentioning about those. We talked, one of everyone's early issues were, what am I going to have for breakfast? So this is experimental. You're going to have to decide what you're going to have. I know that Jill had an amazing breakfast. I think she had smoked salmon and lovely scrambled egg and stuff. I mean, that's brilliant. If you've got having a rich variety of different breakfasts is ideal. So if you like, scrambled egg, you could have salmon, you could have avocados mashed on toast, whatever you like, but we're just trying to think outside the box, away from the breakfast cereal, all right? Just because it's highly processed. Fantastic, porridge, yes. And if you can make your own porridge, as opposed to having really processed pot that you add boiling water to, because the oats, the effect of the oats on your blood sugar is different. If you can just use ground oat, fantastic. The stuff that's milled into sort of like dust, they add sugar to that because it's instant porridge. They've made it really, really fine. And that has a much more dramatic effect of your blood sugar going up steeply and then dropping steeply. The bigger the flakes, the better. I know it takes longer to cook, but that's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so porridge is a great breakfast. So obviously we haven't had anyone mention on the group that they are trying smoothies. If you are a smoothie girl, let us know, okay? So I know some people live by their NutriBullets. Shove it all in and have a drink. You know, that's brilliant if that's what you like. Blender or NutriBullet, any combination of fruit and green veg, all right? I think a lot of us will prefer to have sort of protein, egg or whatever, porridge. Right, so, and then basically for your next two meals, you're looking at what vegetables, salads you've got at home, and then teaming it with protein. So it could be a slice of salmon, I don't know, whatever. I mean, tonight, Kian has made a massive stew, so we're having massive stew tonight with beans and pulses and stuff in it, and we'll just have vegetables on the side. We don't actually need potatoes because the stew is really filling. I mean, he'll probably have potatoes, that's fine. But I know for a fact I will be full without needing potatoes. So that's going to be ideal. Now, are you drinking enough? That's going to be important because that's going to fill you up, okay? I'm loving that some of you are embracing green tea. That's brilliant. If you just want other drinks, that's fine, but drink plenty of water as water, all right? It doesn't need to have stuff in it all the time. Do drink plenty of water. You know, we're talking really 2 to 3 litres a day. I know that's a lot. If you don't drink anything like that, slowly build it up. Hello, Mr. Healy. He's setting me up for lift lane. Okay, I wanted to mention, how are we doing for time? Yeah, we're okay. Wanted to mention about intermittent fasting. Now, it's nothing like as scary as it sounds, and Michael Mosley is a great, good idea. Michael Mosley is a great advocate of intermittent fasting. Now, all it is that in clean eating, you will have read that you ideally to go 12 hours overnight without eating anything. So you have your evening meal, say at 7 o'clock, and then you don't eat again. This isn't intermittent fasting, this is just every day. You don't eat again until at least 7 a.m. Try and get a 12-hour gap between your meals, last meal and next meal, and that gives your body a rest from having to digest everything, okay? So that's what we want to be doing every day this week in this 7-day block, having that 12-hour gap. Now, when you're doing intermittent fasting, you just extend that gap slightly. Now, in this booklet, they're talking about maybe doing 17 hours. So instead of having breakfast or your first meal at 7, if it suits you and you're not one of the, do you remember I said yesterday, intermittent fasting is not suitable for anyone who's had a history of disordered eating, or if you have a medical condition that suggests that you have to have breakfast with your tablets, all right? So, or if you're diabetic or whatever, and you have to eat at certain times, it's not going to suit you. However, for some of us, it works really, really well. Now, we hold all sorts of beliefs in our head about breakfast. I know I will not leave the house without it, and that is still the case now. However, I work from home a few days a week. So intermittent fasting suits me really, really well. If I did feel a bit flaky and in need of anything, I go through the door, okay? I can eat something. So it's taken that worry away. And all I do, so a couple of times a week, I just don't eat breakfast. And I just have my first meal at lunchtime. And I drink plenty of hot drinks during the morning. It's fine. Yesterday I wasn't even hungry. So I challenge you, if you fancy, you might, if you have a busy work life and that's not what you want to do, maybe try it at a weekend. Often we'll go for a dog walk, come back and put brunch on. That's intermittent fasting. It's no big deal. But it's very individual. It's going to suit some people, it's not going to suit others. And if I'm honest, that was the first thing, when I did this 5-6 years ago, the first thing, arms crossed, I'm not doing that. Okay, fine. So I didn't do it for the first few times. And then I tried it and I thought, Emma, what were you making such a fuss about? It's really good because it stops you being hungry. The more I eat, the more hungry I am. And the less I eat, okay, so when I do these episodes of intermittent fasting, it actually reduces my hunger and I feel much less hungry in life. So it's worth giving it a go if you've decided you want to, all right? Drink plenty during the morning and just get on with life. Forget about the fact you didn't have breakfast and you get used to it and it can serve you really, really well. Let me know. Now, on this little timetable, they're suggesting intermittent fasting could be days 4 and 5. So that could be Thursday, Friday. But if you're brand new to it, and depending on your workload, you may choose to do it at the weekend. It's completely up to you. All right? Give it a go and let me know how you get on. All right? So that's all from me today. So make sure you're having plenty of those 3 main food groups. So complex carbohydrates, protein and healthy fats. Lots to drink. Bit of green tea in there. If you need snacks, you could have berries or some nuts. But, you know, listen to your body and just check, are you really hungry when you're having those snacks or are you just bored? Have a good day too, Tori. And can't wait to get everybody's feedback later. Let me know how day 2 goes. See you soon. Bye.